to another beautiful episode of Smart Hills. Yes, I know you've been salivating for this episode. And trust us, we've got a very special guest on the show for you today, as usual. You know how we roll. Our women are women who are breaking glass ceilings in their profession. We don't do mediocrity. All we are after on this program is excellence. Women who will inspire other women to be better at what they are doing. So Benny will do us the honor of introducing our special guest on the show today. Over to you, Benny.
Thank you so much, Kenny. Thank you, Toyin, for coming on the program. So, girlfriends, we have a very special guest, as Kenny has mentioned. She's Toyin Umesiri. She's the CEO of Nazaru Limited, and also the founder of Trade for Africa. Can we all give a round of applause to Toyin?
Thank you for joining us, Toyin. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. No, it's my pleasure and it's an honor. Thank you so much.
I've been following you for some time, and when you granted our request, it's like you giving me my 2020 wish.
Come on. No. It's such an honor. It's such a great opportunity, to engage, to have a chat. It's Friday. It's a nice day. And thank you for reaching out and for braving, sometimes, when you don't ask, you've already gotten the answer no.
Yes,
right? So it's also a brave thing to know, if you know what you want, just ask. You never know if that person will say yes. So thank you for taking that risk, and I'm happy to be here.
It's a calculated risk, yes. I tell you. All right.
I'm glad we did.
Yes, me too.
Toyin, let's go right into the chat proper. How has your journey been so far as a professional? I'm really, really interested in that.
It's great. So just to give you a background, I came to the US. So I'm based in Chicago now, but I came to the US 2004 to pursue my master's program, my graduate program. So I hold a master's in information systems. So I came to the US for my master's degree in information systems 2004. And right after that, I moved into the corporate space. In fact, before I graduated, I actually had 3 different job offers on the table. So I was actually praying, I said, which one should I take? Which was really fantastic, right? Because I specialized in a particular skill that is really, it's a technology skill that is extremely valuable, SAP. So I have a technology background. My first degree is mathematics. So I have first degree mathematics, second degree business and technology. So the journey has been amazing, because right after graduate school, I then moved into corporate America, working for one of the biggest manufacturers in the world, Whirlpool, KitchenAid. They make refrigerators, cooker, range, dishwasher, dryer. So it's very amazing organization. I spent almost seven years there. And then from there, I joined Walmart, which is the world's largest retailer and Fortune 1, even actually the world's biggest company, working at their headquarters. So I would say, my professional journey, has been incredible. And I think part of it is what I tell people is, wherever you find yourself, just give your all. Because even after I went into corporate America, what I then started doing for my alumni university, so the university I went to masters for, I started taking my company back to go and recruit at that school, saying, oh, if you like my job, if you like what I do, there are more people, there are more people in my graduate school, you can come and recruit. So I actually also built a relationship with the university, with the president of the university, because we were bringing the biggest companies to come and recruit and hire in that school. So my approach has always been, wherever I find myself, whatever opportunities in front of me, that's all you've got.
Yes.
A lot of times people are dreaming of, oh, tomorrow I will do this, tomorrow next. No, what you have, it's like what the scripture says is, whoever is faithful in little, just be faithful where you are. Whatever it is, whether you're in school, whether you're working at the entry level, whether you're middle management, whether you're executive, where you are right now is your opportunity to demonstrate your value. And that's what I've done. So my journey has been that. And that's the same approach, even with my business now. This is what I'm doing right now, and I give it my all. You know, I just show up. So so my professional life has been that way. Show up, give your best, connect with people, provide value, and then the next opportunity will show up. It's around the corner for you.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you.
Really, really interesting. Thank you so much. And when you mentioned you have a degree in SAP, I was like, wow, that is in very, very high demand.
Yes. So basically, the Masters in Information Systems, there was a concentration for SAP because the school was one of the first 3 universities in the US to partner with SAP Germany.
Okay.
So they had SAP University Alliance. It's called University Alliance. So SAP Germany actually donated SAP software to those universities. And then the universities teach their students to program, to code, to do configuration, whether accounting, HR, whatever it is, they teach it on campus. So in addition to studying SAP, I then also went to get the certification. So I've been a certified SAP consultant since 2006.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. Girlfriends, don't you?
Yeah, so again, it's for me, again, it's back to, if you choose a career, if you choose a path, be the best, right? What does it take to be the best where you've decided you want to be, right? So that's the approach for me, is looking at that. And even when I wanted to do the certification, I was still a student and I didn't have the money. I had to go look for the money to buy that certification, because the certification was going to position me as a professional, as an international, as a professional in 2006. And I did that, and no regrets, right? So yeah, so when it comes to SAP, I'm very good.
You heard that, girlfriend. Toyin is an SAP guru. Yes.
And you heard what she said. She didn't have the money, but she went to look for it to make sure she got that certification.
Because she knew the value it was going to bring to her.
Don't let money be the reason why you are not taking your personal development serious.
Yeah, because
dedicated.
Let me add on to that. And because it's going to tie to what I'm even seeing today in my work. Even back then, consider it an investment, because it paid for itself over and over again. In fact, I was able to negotiate a higher pay when I was going into my first job after my graduate program. I was able to negotiate with that certification to say, as I'm coming into your company, you're not going to need to train me. I've already trained myself. So the money you used to be training me here, and I've already trained myself. So add it on to my salary.
What a negotiation.
Of course. Thank you for that, Toyin. So I'm sure in this journey you must have encountered some highs and some lows. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Absolutely. I think I'll start. So when you're advancing in your career, and when there are global crises like we have today, companies always have to make tough decisions. And at that time, I got caught in this. An entire organization from the vice president down was X'd. was in the organization. The company said, everybody from the very vice president to this person in this arm of the organization, we are not getting you. We are moving in a different direction. So what they did, which was very great, was they gave us 60 days paid to say, go home, figure out what you want to do. If you want to come back to this company, you can come back, because it's not because of you, it's because of the strategic decision we've made. If you want to come back, keep applying. And then if you decide you want to actually leave, if you want to leave the company, we'll actually hire an executive search team to help you, with your interview skills, with your job search. They pay them big money to support. So that was a low in the sense of, wow, okay. But it became a high because that's when you see the value of the relationship you had in the organization. So all kinds of executives, friends, they came in and they were like, give me your resume. We want you to stay. Like they were just passing at the highest levels. They were passing my resume, trying to get me another open position with the same company. At the same time, I was also looking outside. So that was a great time for me to see, wow, there were actually other people beyond myself that actually wanted me to succeed. Okay. So it helped me to value such relationships. Like there were so many people willing to pass my resume and say, do you have a job? Do you have a job for Toyin? That was good. The other thing that it did for me personally was understand that I am not my job. Even though this opportunity that, is not working out, I have value. I still have value in the marketplace. The skills I had acquired is still valuable. Like if these people are saying they don't want me, I'm going out there. Who wants this, right? So coaching, I was like laughing and they were like, Toyin, a lot of people come in here and they're like crushed. I'm like, crushed? Why should I be crushed? I know my skill. I know the value of my skills. I know the type of person I am. Even the existing organization, they're still trying to get me back. So I use my brain to solve business challenges for them. I better use that same brain to solve it for myself.
Exactly.
True.
So that was a low. It was a low professional time, but it turned out to be the best thing because it also helped me to think about, Toyin, what do you really want to do? Do you want to go back? Do you want to leave? Do you want to leave, or do you want to do your own thing? Right? Because a lot of times we all might have these aspirations and dreams, but we are so tied to, the paycheck, the luxuries of today, that we're not willing to see what else is out there. What else could be out there for you that could be better than what you have today?
Yeah.
So that was a low point. And then when it comes to high points, I've had many, many, many high points. I've had high points where my employers paid me like 200% of my bonus. Like I was that good.
Wow.
That, yeah, that's, I outperformed my peers to the level of, we're actually in your bonus. Not only are you going to make all your bonus, we're going to multiply your bonus by 2.
Wow.
So and it's extremely competitive because you're competing with your peers, they're measuring your performance and your results with other people's performance, and your boss has to fight for you. So I've had that. I've had eyes of technology solutions that, just designing solutions that 5 years later, it's the reason the company is winning and they're succeeding. So those are always really good, where you're contributing and, your team sees your thought process, the way you think, and they value it. And it's actually creating dynamic opportunities to advance your company. So for me, I would tell people, speak up. In terms of, if you're in a room, speak up, because sometimes everybody is going, I'm this kind of person that everybody might be going this way. 80% of the people in the room might be going this way. I'm the one that will say, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Have you thought about this? But a lot of times we don't want to be that person, right? We don't want to be that person that is seen as, you're not going with the team, you're not going with the group. But for me, what that is called is thought leadership. In terms of can you lead people with the way you think? Right? And it's not about your title. Okay, so this is not about, oh, I'm the boss, I'm the senior, this, blah, blah. No, this is when you put 50 people in a room and they are looking for thought leadership. Can you be the one in that room that would say, hey guys, I'm thinking we should be doing this thing. Have you all thought about, that's what they call thought leadership. Is can you be a thought leader to bring ideas into a room that will get people thinking differently about solving a problem? So that's something that I've always tried to do. I consider myself an independent thinker, but you have to balance IQ with EQ.
Yeah.
So if you're just an independent thinker and you're thinking, you could also be disruptive if you are not emotionally connected with your team, and if the team doesn't feel like you have their best interest at heart. And we all know those people that are like, I too know, I too know, I know this, I know that. You don't want to be that person. So what I'm saying is, in the spirit of a team winning, in the spirit of the dynamic of the team, you can bring an idea in that advances your team's goals forward. Not your own personal agenda, but helps your team to win. So that's thought leadership. It's not, oh, I want everybody to know, that's not what I'm saying. There's a balance where you are part of a team and you want your team to win, and you can be the one to score the winning goal, and everybody will cheer, right? Everybody will say, yeah.
Thank you for that, Toyin. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toyin. My takeaway from everything you just said now, girlfriends, when you are at that place, it could be in your workplace, it could be in your personal business, or wherever endeavor you find yourself. As much as I am passionate about empowering women and all of that, don't play that gender card. That's what I got from everything Toyin has shared with us so far. Don't play that gender card. Let your performance, let your execution, let your implementation, let your thought leadership, let all of those things stand you out. Not because you are a woman, not because of any other thing, but because you are a professional who have gone out of our way to develop ourselves to compete favorably at a global level. That is what I got out of what Toyin just shared with us right now. And thank you so much for that.
No, and that's what you just described is what differentiates winners and losers. Because what people don't realize that the world is about value addition. In terms of the reason you're hired is because we are bringing something. The reason
you have some value to add.
Yes, and even in business, I've started teaching because I find that I have to teach some of these principles. You don't have a business if you are not adding value to people. Value enough that they will pay you for that value.
Yes.
Nobody is going to give you money just because you open shop and you say, come and buy.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So even in business,
won't patronize you if you are not adding.
Thank you. So even in business, whether in your job or in life or even in relationship, in business, your business exists because you are solving something else, a problem somebody else have, not your own. Your own problem could be, I want to make money. Your own personal goal is, I want to be rich, I want money. But nobody cares about your personal goals.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's for me, it's a fundamental thing, even in global markets. Is if you show up into a room, be clear what you are bringing into the room and be clear what you want from that room.
Yes.
That is what then happens and that's how people will value you, right? So people people reaching out to me, people connecting with me is because they perceive that I might be able to solve their problem better, right? Like the call I just had, it's, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm so glad I reached out to you. Can you help us, right? So you want to be that person on that job where even if your boss is proud or whoever they are, if they know you are the solution to their problem, they will bow and come to you. If they know.
That's the absolute truth, Toyin. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, we cannot downplay the importance of bringing your A game to whatever you are doing. We cannot downplay, and bringing your A game involves so many things, like you have shared with us so far. So thank you so much for that. I mean, if I didn't think you were going to add value to what we are doing, I wouldn't have reached out to you in the first place. So obviously, you need to be a value adder. You need to bring something to the table, and you need to be clear about that thing that you are bringing, so that whoever wants to patronize you knows exactly what he or she is coming to you for. So thank you so much for that clarification.
Yep.
I personally appreciate that. So Toyin, as a professional woman, how do you integrate your work and your life? How do you marry them?
Okay, so how do I marry them? So I don't usually talk about things I used to do before. I don't know if you've seen on my, I think I've removed it from my profile, but I actually led Walmart's Working Women community.
I saw that.
I saw that. Okay, you saw that. Yes. Yeah. So this is a hot topic where, as professional women, and you have ambition and you are achieving, one thing that I personally do is to understand my priorities, right? So that's the first thing, because the first thing is to decide who are you, who do you want to be, what are your priorities? Because if you don't understand your priorities, every single day, there will be opportunities for you not to uphold your priorities, right? Every time you are presented with a challenge to pick family or work, which one would you pick? Because those tough decisions would happen, and I can tell you, I can create a story of all those decisions I've had to make, from moving for my family to kids. I have 3 kids. Those to, where you have kids and maybe one of them falls sick. Let me give you a good example. There was an invitation I got to a governor's mansion, like in Arkansas. I was invited to an event at the governor's mansion. They call it governor's mansion. And me, I had packed my bag, packed my things. I'm like, yeah, I'm going. Guess what? Ring, ring. Your son, your daughter is running a temperature. I'm like, governor can wait. I'm going for my kids. Yeah. So for me, it's, don't be misled with, for me, my ambition. My ambition is second to my health, my family, and the life I'm trying to create for myself. My job is not me. I get to decide what I want to do for a living, and I don't let it control me. And that's where the balance is. And I've had to, and I'm one of those persons that I'm very vocal. And that's why even when I took on the leadership role of Working Women, part of my role was to advocate on behalf of other women that were not as vocal as I am. I was very vocal to the extent that there was a project I was on. They wanted me to be traveling, is it twice a month to UK, to Europe? I'm like, what? I am not going. My kids, but I had to do it in a professional way, and I had to use some office politics to get myself off that list. I still went, but I reduced my international trip to the barest minimum. Again, I can travel. I've traveled. If you've not traveled, you want to travel. But if you have traveled, you'll be like, I'm not going, right? So I've traveled throughout my career. I've had the opportunity to go to Mexico, UK. I've had that opportunity to work in a global organization. But to your question, back to your question, it's how do you balance it? The reality is, number one, be clear. What is the most important thing to you? Because if you don't know that, if your job is the most important thing, then you're going to be sacrificing whatever, your health or your kids. But if your family is the most important, you have to put that in perspective. And when there's a clash, what is most important is like now, today. I was talking to a friend. I said, today, what is going on with COVID-19 and women having to work from home, and also the kids having to school from home? I said it is a test. It is a test. It is a test on every woman for them to decide which one is the most important thing to you. I was telling a friend, I said it is a test. Hopefully I have passed that test some years ago. But I was laughing. For me, I was like, this is a test on so many women that you've been told through the, whether feminist or whatever movement, that go for it. Go. But right now, you're having to live a real life. There's nowhere you're going. You are home. There's nowhere you're going. You're home with your family, with your kids. And what is of greater joy than that? So for me, that's the perspective that allows me to handle those things, that I have not put my career or my ambition above my family or my health or my life. If this is not working for me, I will change it. And as women, you need to get in the driver's seat to know that you are in charge. You are in the driver's seat of your life. Don't let the world tell you what is best for you. Don't, the world can tell you. But the other thing, and on this note, one of the things that might also help is to talk to a lot of older women. You realize that older women, maybe 70s above, what gives them most joy is not truly their professional accomplishment. It's usually their family and their kids. Like, it's just a different wiring that we have. A lot of times people want to say we are equal. I don't subscribe to that. I think I don't subscribe.
Yes.
I think I am wired. I think I am wired differently than my husband. I think my desires are different than my husband. I think what I want out of life is different from my husband. I think what brings me joy out of life is different from my husband's. So it would be crazy of me to be pursuing what he is pursuing that brings in joy versus pursuing what I love.
Brings you joy.
So for me.
I wanted to say what you said about older women from 70 upwards, what is important to them at that time. Reminds me of the video that we watched where some older women were giving advice to their younger self, saying if I would have loved more, I would have lived more. They concentrated so much in their career, and they had some regrets along the way because they were not really focusing on the more important things. So I relate with what you said.
Yes, and for me, the way it's not even just work and home. There's work, there's your health, there's your emotional side. There's so many things that helps us to function at our best. Okay? It's friendship. Women do better. Women value friendship more than men. It is community. We are more wired to like the work your team is doing in bringing people together. Women actually derive more joy.
So Toyin, if you were not doing what you are doing right now, what else would you have loved to do? And when I say this, I say it in a social context. What would you have loved to do socially? Would you have loved to be a musician, an actress, a teacher? What would you have loved to do?
but I still think I'm still an architect in a way. So when I was in high school, I went to federal government college, Idoani in Ondo State, and I was very good. I was in the technical path, so building construction. I was beating the boys in building construction class, and I was honestly, my passion was to become an architect. And I think when it was time to do JAMB, you know, those days when you want to do JAMB, that's when my parents now put, you know, they allowed me to do building construction up until like, is it SS3 and but when it was now time to pick, is it a course or whatever, university, that's when my parents now say, wait a minute, you know, can you hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you.
Volume.
We can hear
me. Okay, good. Awesome. So I think that was when it was time to go into university, that's when, you know, that pipe dream of being an architect, you know, my parents were like, oh, medicine, you know, all those things that happen back home. So, but the beautiful thing I would say is, I actually think that the natural giftings that you have and the natural desires that you have as a child, even in adults, if you can go back and tap into it, it will serve you well. Because for me now, I feel like I'm still using that natural ability to, you know, what does an architect do? They see a picture in their head, right, of a building in their head, and they are able to capture that and present it and give it to somebody else to build. So even for me, it's still part of what I am now happy to do, because I feel really that I've reconnected with my natural gifting. I used to write when I was in high school, university. Being able to build my own business, I've had to naturally tap into my giftings. And it's beautiful where, you know, even in my business, I can see a world that I desire in my head for Africa or US-Africa trade. And what I have to do is to communicate that through my activities, through my events, through my engagements, through my, you know, stakeholder engagement, is to sell that world to everybody. You know, that trade can be better, that Nigeria, Africa can be better, that there's a global market out there. I can see it in my head. It's clear in my head. But now I have to write it out. I have to communicate it. I have to use social media to reach as many people as I can. I have to bring people in to help build that work. So
you would have loved to be an architect. And you are still one anyway.
But in a way, I still want. Yeah, okay, so it's creating something better. Yes.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much. So this is the fun part of the interview for me. This is my favorite part. All my girlfriends know that by now. So how does Toyin unwind? Yeah. How do you unwind after a hectic day? How do you let it down?
For me, it's something very silly, but it's it's my beauty routine. Like in the morning and in the evening, it's that moment where you can close the door. There are no kids banging on the door calling on you. There's nobody that needs you. It's that moment in front of that mirror where I'm washing my face. I do this religiously in the morning, in the evening. And it's
soothing, it's relaxing.
It's so calming, it's so refreshing. So in terms of self-care, it's, yeah, and you need it. I think every woman needs it. You need that me time. So it's that taking off, washing. I'm very I'm a beauty junkie. Again, like I said, I have my own skincare, I have my own makeup line and stuff like that.
Yes, I saw
So
that
that's the
LinkedIn.
most soothing thing that I don't know how to explain it until you try it. Yeah, until you try creating a space for yourself in the morning and the last thing before you go to bed at night, you would not know the benefits. You wouldn't know the benefit. But at night, imagine it's a long day, you've worked hard, you've cooked, you've done everything for everybody, you've done everything you can do for everybody. Now it's time for you. And if you can do something for yourself every day. I also love reading a lot of books. I read a lot of books on different topics, on different subjects in terms of human performance. So human performance of the connection of your mind to say, if you want to increase your performance, here's the thing, you cannot perform higher than the way you think. Okay? So if you want to perform at a higher level, you've got to start thinking at a higher level. Yes. So you have it's how do you see the world? How do you see yourself? So I read a lot of books in terms of that. I also read books around human emotion, in terms of how do you communicate with yourself? Because a lot of times, so many things are happening with conversation with yourself, you cannot have the right conversation with the next person. So for example, in the workplace, something might be going on in the workplace, you don't feel right with it. You may feel this boss doesn't like you know, you just have all those emotions. But if you can take a book and write it out, and be able to say, what are you really feeling, and put some words behind it. Once you can put some words behind it, then you can have a conversation with that person. But a lot of time we skip a step. We don't have a conversation with ourselves, and we're trying to have a conversation with other people, and then we end up damaging that relationship. Because we come at that person with accusation. You did this to me, you did this to me. No. Meanwhile, you could come with that conversation with, I think, this is what I'm thinking. Is that what you meant? So you kind of give that person an opportunity to say, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that's not what I wanted you to do. So I studied that a lot in terms of communication, because human beings, as humans, we're social beings. So if we can live well with ourselves, we love ourselves, I love who I am. I have a very good relationship with myself. Then I can be in good relationship with my brothers, with my sisters, with my spouse, with my kids, with my co-workers. I can then do that. But I've had to learn how to do it. I've had to learn how to do all of that. So through books, through reading and all of that. So so those are the things I do in my past. If I'm not working, one of the reasons I do a lot of cooking is because I realize that it's a way of people I love. After I've cooked something really nice for them, no money can buy that. When you see kids say, Mommy, Mama, that was delicious. Oh, that was, I'm like, oh, okay, you make me feel good. I'm going to do it again. So I think you can, I think your audience, and I think you can tell that I'm trying to live a balanced life. So I actually have a ministry called the 360 Woman. And it's because I'm trying to say that women cannot be looked at through one dimension of work. I don't think women can be looked at, oh, she's a professional or she's a stay-at-home mom. I think there's more to us. And I think it's time for each person to explore your own universe. Yes, listen to yourself, listen to yourself more, and you yourself will guide you in terms of what you should be doing. So that's what I try to do part-time. And next year, my something else, I might want to do something else.
Yeah, something else, exactly. You
I'll
shouldn't
do
be
it.
put in a box. You can decide to be a DJ tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah, and that's why I know sometimes people will see Toys post something inspirational, sometimes it's work, sometimes it's serious, sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's, and I'm saying that's Toyin. Toyin is not one dimension. So I try to be, so I try to show up just the way I am.
Because people want to connect to the real you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
But it starts, but it starts with, first, I had to connect with myself first.
Yes.
And I had to listen to myself. I had to understand what Tony is trying to do in this, who is she trying to be? And then I can cooperate with myself to be that person.
Wow, thank you so much, Toyin. You've given us a lot of insights and advice. I wanted to ask a question of what your advice would be, but you've already given us so much. So, girlfriends, I hope you've listened attentively and you've taken a lot of learnings from everything Toyin has said. She said you need to add value anywhere you are. As a woman, you need to, don't be one-dimensional. Be able to adjust, adapt, and be able to do different things, and always bring the real you to the table.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So,
I think
to wrap the program up, I think
yes.
you should just share, a few tips for young female professionals out there before we wrap up.
Yeah, I think there's so much information out there that tells people do this, do that, feminist this, do that. For me, that's not where you should start from. Ask yourself, who do you want to be? Right? What type of person do you want to be? What are your aspirations? If it's okay, if all you want to do is to build a home and have amazing kids and nurture your kids, that in itself, it's an amazing, if that's all you do in the world, don't assess yourself or judge. No, value yourself. If God is calling you to raise the next president, if that is the job God is giving you to raise the next president, nobody might know you, but guess what? The person who raised Obama to be the president, she's done her bits. People might not remember her for whatever she did professionally, but they can remember her as the mom of the first American Black president, right? So I think we should all be kinder. Yeah, we should be kind to each other, because I've seen this struggle between I'm a professional woman, and then I've seen that struggle of I'm a stay-at-home mom. For me now, I'm living in between. I have my own time. I control my own time. Being a businesswoman, I can do what I want anytime I want, which is fantastic. But I just feel like we should be more gentle with ourselves. We should be more kinder to ourselves. We should judge less, and we should just be and to show up to the world the way God has created us. So that's what I would say. Whatever you decide to do, just do it well, enjoy it, have a blast, because guess what? Time is flying. Before you know it, you're 70. Yeah.
I mean, everyone has the same 24 hours, so it's not like you have 30 hours in a day. So how you utilize that 24 hours is what you should be thinking about. The important things that you want to achieve that are relevant to you, that are important to you within that 24 hours is what you should be using those hours to do. So thank you so much.
And enjoy it. It's your life, it's your life.
That's what I tell people. I do body confidence coaching coaching for professional women, at my hand here. And within the period that I started that thing, I have come to realize that as women, like you said, we need to be kinder to ourselves. We put ourselves under so much pressure. And for me, it's a popular saying, success is not that attractive to me if I cannot enjoy that process. So I need to enjoy my journey. I need to enjoy that process so that when the results come, I can look back and say, yes, I had my mistakes, I learned from it, and I had fun along the line. I'm a very playful person. People will say, oh, that playful HR, that is me, that's my person. So I don't have to box myself in to please anyone. Do you understand? So I am just myself. It's a journey of self-discovery.
Yes.
I am doing so many things now, and people are like, Kenny, you are doing this one, you are doing that, you are doing. I said, yes, I'm enjoying it. I'm discovering myself. I am having that conversation with myself, and I am doing what is relevant to me, not to the next person or the next person. I am doing that thing that gives me fulfillment. I am doing what I am happy about. And, it makes it all the more enjoyable if I am able to bring some value to the table while I'm doing that.
Yes. And this is what I would say, to take on the word you said. That's what you just described, is you are being successful. Sometimes people think success is money in the bank, this. No. If you can be free, if your mind can be free and you can be at liberty, show up to the world and to add value. In Genesis, the gift God gave us is He said, be fruitful and multiply. By God's standard, that is success. Success is if you are adding value, if you are creative, if you are being fruitful, if you are touching somebody else's life, if you are adding value, if you are showing up every day, if you are contributing, that is success. Now, if you can do it enough that it is able to create wealth for you, great. Wealth is an added bonus. If you're able to do it, if what you are doing, you can now create a business out of it and use it to add value to, and then you are able to create a conglomerate, a business, and create, and even wealth in itself is something you get to create. People don't understand. People think, oh, money just shows up. No. One of the, I've done a couple of videos. Maybe I need to do more around wealth creation. Wealth is created. It doesn't just happen unless maybe your parents created it and they gave it to you for free. Then that's fine. You hear it. But I'm saying there is a concept called wealth creation, and there are techniques and there are ways people do it. One way people do it is through business, to create wealth through business. But I'm telling you, beyond even just wealth, what you just described that you are doing, you are living a successful life.
Yes.
Take it, enjoy it, and protect it. And protect it, because so many times something else will want to steal that from you. So you have to protect it. Something else will tell you, no, there's something better out there. No, you have to say, I value my freedom, I value my liberty, I value my creativity. That. Now, if you now want to add on that bonus of wealth, then you can start studying, what else can I do to create wealth while I'm still living my life?
That's it.
So,
that's it.
So
that's
sisters, that's you're living a successful life. Don't let anybody tell you anything out there. If you listen to all those celebrities, you think they have money. Their life is not as good as yours, so don't try it.
Exactly.
So value what you have, So value what you have, we need to go back to being content, contentment, because we are chasing, even COVID-19 has taught us big lesson now. All those things people used to chase and run all over for. It's like COVID-19, they sit down at home.
You can't
seriously
use the thing you are running after.
Like in Yoruba, in Yoruba, you say pololo, joko. There's no pololo, joko.
Yes, because at this point in time, everyone is taking everyone is sitting back and identifying exactly that thing that is important. That's the period we are in now. Because there's no room for there's no room for frivolity. So everyone is actually focusing on what is important right now.
Yes, but be careful. When this is all over, and it's like, if it's, exactly, it's like a bull that's been held back. When you let it go, people are going to run. Where are they going to run into? Into the ditch? Are they going to protect? So you have to protect it. So yeah, anyway.
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed every bit of this conversation. Thank you so much.
Fun, interesting, and educative.
Exactly. I've enjoyed getting to know you. And I'm still going to be doing more of the knowing.
Exactly.
After the program.
No.
So, friends, there you have it from Toyin Umesiri, our special guest on the program for today. Smart Hills is a production of HR Girlfriends Tribe, in case you are wondering or you're just joining us. And it's a program where we showcase female professionals who are doing excellently well in their careers. An example is a Toyin Umesiri that you're seeing on your screen right now. So join us next week on another fantastic episode of Smart Hills, where we'll be bringing another fantastic guest. It's true for you, just for you, girlfriends. Trust us now. We are HR girlfriends. You should trust us. So next week is another date with us. Tuesday is another date. You can follow us on our social media handles. Benny, you want to do justice to that?
Yes, you can follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Just search for HR Girlfriends Tribe. You can send us an email for sponsorship and advert details, and also to join the tribe. Send the mail to hrgirlfriendstribe@gmail.com.
Until next week, when we will come your way again, we are HR Girlfriends Tribe. We learn, we leisure, and we network. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.